headlines. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele declines presidential form, says he's not taking a stance on 2023 presidency. House of Representatives to hold emergency plenary on Monday over national issues. Death toll from Katsina boat accident rises to 19. And on the international scene, Ukraine's Mariupol defenders face final showdown with Russian invaders as Zelensky pledges to evacuate fighters trapped in Azovstal. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Updates. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for joining. And now the news in full. The Central Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele, says that he is not taking a stance on the 2023 presidency. The governor of the Apex Bank has been under intense pressure since expression and nomination forms of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC were picked on his behalf on Friday. In a series of tweets on Saturday, Emefiele thanked those who bought the forms for him, saying he had not decided to contest and he will use his personal resources if he wishes to do so. He added that he would take a decision in the days ahead. And a coalition of 28 groups is hoping to draft President of the African Development Bank and former Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, into the race for presidency on the platform of the All Progressives Congress APC. The coalition of 28 groups raised a 100 million naira fee to purchase the forms and paid for the nomination and expression of interest forms on Saturday on behalf of the AFDB president. It will be recalled that a similar attempt to draft the governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, into the race in the last 2 days was firmly rebuffed by the Apex Bank governor. And in another development, the House of Representatives will hold an emergency plenary session on Monday, 9th of May 2022. This was contained in a statement signed by the clerk to the House, Yahya Danzaria, on Saturday. According to the statement, the emergency plenary session, which will hold at 2 p.m., is to discuss critical issues of national importance. The House had earlier adjourned sitting till Tuesday, 24th May 2022, after it held a plenary and passed some critical bills last week. And Director General of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu's support group's management, Abdulmumin Jibrin, has announced his plan to leave the ruling All Progressives Congress APC. And Jibrin, who is a former member of the House of Representatives, made the announcement on his official Twitter handle on Saturday. Jibrin, who previously represented Kiru Bebeji Federal Constituency of Kano State, has been leading the presidential campaign for the national leader of the APC and former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. And moving on, the Ministry of Aviation has appealed to local airtime operators of Nigeria to reconsider their decision to shut down operations over the rising cost of aviation fuel. This was contained in a statement by the Special Assistant to the Minister of Public Affairs, James Odaudu, on Saturday. The ministry, which asked the airlines to consider the implication of the planned action, says it is concerned about the rising cost of aviation fuel, while also acknowledging the importance of the sector and the profit-oriented nature of the business. The minister reiterated the government's resolve to creating a conducive environment for businesses. And similarly, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, AFCCPC, has appealed to domestic airline operators to shelve their proposed service shutdown, considering the effect on passengers, difficulties and hardship associated with the action. Executive Vice Chairman of FCCPC, Babatunde Irukera, made the appeal in an interview in Abuja on Saturday. Irukera said the commission was engaging both operators and the leadership of major fuel marketers in a discussion to understand the global supply challenges and possible steps to ameliorate the same. He, however, frowned at the rising consumer feedback that airlines had continued to sell tickets beyond May 9, the date for the proposed service shutdown. And the death toll from the boat accident in Sabo village of May Adoa local government area of Katsina State has risen to 19. The boat capsized around 11 o'clock on Wednesday night when the victims were returning from Salah festivities at the opposite market of the riverbank. Abdullahi Yamadi visited the community and now reports.
The 25 persons were on the boat when it developed a problem and capsized. At the last count, 19 people, mostly women and children, had died from the accident. Search and rescue operations by local divers were halted as the accident occurred late at night. The entire Sabu community has been thrown into mourning, and since Wednesday, people have been trooping in to register their condolences. Shamsu Musa lost his 2 wives and a child, while Lawal Salisu lost a wife and 3 children to the boat mishap. They were returning from a nearby village at the opposite side of the river when the boat capsized. I lost some members of my family. It was destined that this accident will happen, and that is their destiny. We thank God for everything. May their souls rest in perfect peace. Amen. Though this is not the first time this village is witnessing an accident like this, but this happens to be the worst of all. I heard people screaming from a distance towards the direction of the river. Later, I was told that there was an accident. It was late night. I lost a daughter and 2 grandchildren. One of the 2 survivors of the accident, Mariam Musa, who is visibly disturbed, narrowly escaped, but unfortunately lost her only child, Naziru, to the incident.
25 of us were on board, returning from the Salah festivities when the boat capsized a few meters to our destination.
At the time of this report, the whereabouts of the boat driver is not known, as he seems to have disappeared into thin air. Katsina State government is said to be compiling reports with regards to the unfortunate incident with a view to cushioning the hardship of the families and the survivors.
We are still compiling the report of all what happened and what will happen about the incident.
Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Closed Television News, Katsina.
And dozens of Fulani residents in some local government areas of Niger State have vacated their settlements following the incessant attacks by terrorists. Trust TV reports that while thousands of these Fulani have completely left the state to other parts of the country and even outside Nigeria, hundreds of others, especially women and children, now live as internally displaced persons at the uncompleted new state assembly quarters, a 3-arm zone and eastern bypass Mina, the Niger State capital. Take a look at the report.
Among these internally displaced Fulani residents is Alhaji Yusuf Yakubu from Chibani community, Munya local government area of Niger State. He lost both hands trying to reclaim his herd of cattle and goats rustled by terrorists. He said it took grace of Allah to survive the torture he underwent in the hand of the terrorists, numbering about 100, all in military uniforms and armed with sophisticated weapons.
On that fateful Sunday, about 3 months ago, terrorists invaded our settlement around 4 p.m. and wrestled our cattle. They also stole other belongings. I followed them to reclaim some of the stolen items, but they threatened to kill me if I don't go back. I said if they kill me, it was okay because they have taken my means of livelihood. How would I take care of my family? They later took me and tied me on a tree. My family didn't see me until 6 days after. By then, my hands were already damaged. When we went to the hospital in Kaduna and Kano, they said the only option was to amputate my hands. That was how I lost both hands.
Yakubu explained that his life would no longer be the same as he now depends on other people, especially his wives and children, for survival. In this IDP camp are dozens of other Fulani internally displaced persons from Munya and parts of Shiroro local government area of Niger State. The victims, mostly women and children, told Trust TV that they had lived in the camp for over 4 months without humanitarian support from government, a situation that forced them to resort to begging in mosques.
We ran here because of insecurity. So many things have happened to us without any support from security operatives. Each time terrorists pass close to our community, they always attack us, kidnap us, collect our phones, money and other valuables. Sometimes they torture you and release you or take you away. All these happen to us and now we have lost all our means of livelihood.
The national president, Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, Alhaji Hussein Yusuf Boss, said over 23,000 cattle belonging to Fulani herders residents in Niger State have been rustled by terrorists, while many Fulani were also killed in the last 2 years.
And you're watching Trust TV News Updates. Coming up shortly, Nasarawa government shuts a mining sites. This and many more shortly. Do stay with us.
Why worry about the troubles of the world when God has said He will never leave you or forsake you?
Give forgiveness. Your shortcomings are paid.
Why worry about what you do when you have the Holy Spirit to always guide you?
Out of the heart of men proceed evil thoughts.
Why bother about how you can please God when He said all your sins are forgiven and He sees you absolutely flawless?
I command your blood pressure come back to normal.
Believe. Join us every Sunday by 8 a.m. and a repeat broadcast by 5 p.m. for Divine Path, where we teach you how to navigate the world as a Christian. Remember, God sees you absolutely flawless.
Welcome back. You're still watching Trust TV News Update. But before we continue with the rest of the news, let's take a look at our headlines again. We told you that CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele declines presidential forms, says he is not taking a stance on 2023 presidency. And death toll from Katsina boat accident rises to 19. And moving on to more news. Former lawmaker representing Rivers Southeast at the Senate, Senator Magnus Abbey, says the time to bet on him as the right choice to become leader of Rivers State of their dream is now or never. Senator Abbey made the disclosure when he addressed his supporters and All Progressives Congress of Faithful at the Captain Elechi Polytechnic, Port Harcourt. The gathering was drawn more support for his governorship ambition and the presidential bid of Bola Ahmed Tinubu ahead of the APC primaries. The report.
The All Progressives Congress APC governorship aspirant in Rivers State, Senator Magnus Abbey, said the party cannot win the election in the state in 2023 if it presents an outsider as its candidate. Senator Abbey urged the people to shun tribal sentiment and consider interest of the state first before making their choice on who can win the election.
As far as this party is concerned, we cannot afford to take somebody who is not part of us. Whatever disagreements that we have, it is important that we remember that we started this thing together. We know that what riverine means in the context in which they are using it here is Ijaw, and what upland means in the context in which they are using it here is that they don't want Ogoni. That's what it means.
The former lawmaker explained further that he joined the APC with the hope that things will be better for Nigeria and the citizens. He said his support for the APC national leader, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for president in 2023 is because Tinubu has what it takes to deliver for the party and develop the country. Another former lawmaker, Senator Wilson Ake, and other APC stakeholders said the party cannot afford to gamble on the governorship election in the state.
I am supporting Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And the reason I am supporting him is simple. I looked at all those who want to run. I looked at all those who claim they have done this and that. And I saw that Asiwaju is the person in the APC that can deliver that killer punch that will keep the party in power after Buhari.
There is no time to gamble again. You cannot gamble without your vote during the primary. Don't gamble with it. I'm appealing to every APC member, wherever you are, to use that vote, to use that support wisely this time. If we miss it again, it is another 8 years.
I charge you to go to your respective homes, your respective LGAs, and preach the good news of distinguished Senator Magnus Nge Abe for Governor of Rivers State 2023. I also preach the good news of the Jagaban of Africa, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for President 2023.
Abe promised a former government that will not only be for APC supporters, but all Rivers people and Nigerians who reside in the state.
And still in election matters, first-class monarchs and the north and south of Kwara State have endorsed Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak for another term in office. The endorsement, according to the monarchs, is based on his positive impact on every region of the state, as well as his humility in relating with all segments of the state. The monarch spoke during separate Salah visits to the governor in Ilorin barely 48 hours after the chairman of the Kwara State Council of Chiefs and Emir of Ilorin, Ibrahim Shulu Gambari, called on Abdurrazak to run for another term. The report.
The annual Salah homage in Kwara State has somewhat turned into political recognition of Governor Abdurrazak Abdurrahman's political achievements. A common theme running through is the impact the governor has had on Kwara State since he took over the helm of affairs. Monarchs from Kwara South said they were supporting the governor because of his humility and the glaring impact his government had had on their domains. Having touched the lives of people in all sectors, they urged the governor to quickly declare his intention for a second term.
It has been a sojourn of hope, underscores your leadership, and hopefully we can make it a journey of more fulfillment with more delivery of dividends of democracy to the common man. In line with the foregoing, we are appealing to Your Excellency to please run for second term because we want you to continue the good work you have been doing in the last 3 years.
Few hours later, monarchs from Kwara North echoed the same sentiment, saying the administration of Abdurrahman Abdurrazak had touched virtually every region and sector of the state in a positive way. The monarchs emphasized that it was a collective decision to prevail on him to continue his good legacy.
Your Excellency, you have touched lives all around our communities. You've dividend of democracy is seen all over the communities around. Your Excellency, we are proud to be associated with you, and we pray that in the next coming election, you shall be the person to pilot the affairs of Kwara State in the next 4 years.
The governor, who was silent on the second-term bid, said his administration remains committed to peace, unity, inclusive growth, and general well-being of the majority of the people.
This administration has tremendous regard for our traditional institutions. We are committed to peace, unity, inclusiveness, and general well-being of all our people. Our commitment to inclusive and sustainable development is evident across the state in all sectors. Health indices have improved. and we have upgraded facilities across the state. We have taken roads and other developmental projects to the remotest corners of our state, and we have standardized basic education.
He appealed to the monarchs to continue to support various initiatives of his administration to secure Kwara State.
And now to Nasarawa State, where the state government has suspended mining activities in 2 disputed areas of the state. State Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Kwanta Yakubu, disclosed this during his visit to the 2 mining sites in Kuzikbi in Kara local government and Kamato in Nasarawa local government areas of the state.
Announcing the suspension of mining activities in the 2 disputed areas, the State Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Yakubu Kwanta, said the action is in response to complaints bordering on encroachment on lands and titles as well as threat to lives. He said Nasarawa State, being an investment destination in the country, will not fold its arms and watch the situation degenerate into chaos. The Commissioner said the government received reports against a mining company at Luvu in Karu local government area and a similar complaint by Kama Oto community in Udege development area of the state. The reports, he said, bordered on harassment, maltreatment, illegal encroachment of land, as well as assault, which he said are capable of causing a breakdown of law and order in the affected areas. The Commissioner maintained that the suspension of mining in the 2 sites will remain in place until a lasting solution is reached.
The community also argued that the area covered by these lands is not within where they lease out. A lot of crises are brewing where lives is about to even take off. As you are all aware, His Excellency is committed to making sure that peace and unity exist in the state. Nasarawa State has been ranked and adjourned as one of the first 3 investment destination community. And it is in that spirit he asked us to come here and see the both parties and also direct them to stop work and report to LAFIA with a view to saying that lasting solution is gotten so that they will continue with their normal business without interference, without crisis, and without any loss of life.
While calling on the parties involved in the dispute to cooperate with the government to enable it to deliver on the mandate of the people, the State Environment and Natural Resources Commissioner explained that the decision was not aimed at witch-hunting anyone, but rather a way of finding lasting solutions to the disputes in the mining sites. Also, the China Harbour Engineering Company handling the dualization of the Kefi-Lafia-Makurdi Road has been invited by the state government through the ministry for review of its environmental impact assessment plan and the extent of its implementation in the course of their construction and other mining works.
And following challenges faced by JAMB candidates in Gombe State during computer-based tests, a non-governmental organization is offering free computer training for their students. Ibrahim Ismail, who met representatives of the NGO, reports that the training is to increase the students' chances in the unit's tertiary matriculation examination. And he filed in this report.
The 2022 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB commenced in over 700 centers across the country. These are some UTME candidates attending a basic computer training before taking the JAMB computer-based test in Gombe State.
It is very important. It helps us a lot because I never set my fingers to press a computer, but hey, I know a lot and I can even do my exam without any effects. It really helps us a lot.
Yes, I learned so many things here in this tutorial. I learned how to operate computer, how to answer in the computer system, which don't know back. Some things run about today which I don't know how to answer, how to handle them. Now I see how to handle. Even my teacher used to say, If you enter exam hall, enter with confidence.
The admissions unit of Gombe State University is assisting the students to get basic skills in computer operations.
We feel there are some candidates that have the idea about
And on the international scene, Ukraine's last soldier in the port city of Mariupol faced a brutal final showdown on Sunday with besieging Russian forces who were hoping to deliver a critical win ahead of the country's Victory Day. Governor of the Luhansk region, Serhiy Gadai, said 2 people have been killed in the Russian bombing of a school in the Ukraine's village of Bilohorivka, and 60 were remanded on the debris and are feared dead. Gadai said Russia dropped a bomb on Saturday afternoon on the school where about 90 people were sheltering and 30 people have been rescued. President Volodymyr Zelensky is also set to hold talks with G7 leaders via video conference to discuss the situation in his country, which fears a renewed intensity to Moscow's offensive after the evacuation of civilians from Mariupol's Azovstal steelworks. And with that, we've come to the end of the news update at this hour. For more, follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.